Yo, good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Stokastic.com NFL First Look Strategy Show. Yes, the time has come. Week 11. That's nuts, man. It's nuts. 2 weeks from now, we're going to be on a Thanksgiving slate or something like that? Probably, right? Week 13 is probably Thanksgiving at this point, where I get to lose it all, but still be excited about it pre-12 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyway, Ben Rasa, what's up, brother? How we doing?
I'm all right. My neck hurts. That game was rough last night, but yeah, we're doing some good things. Thanksgiving will be here. It's late this year, correct?
Yeah, it's like the 27th.
It's always a Thursday. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's always on a Thursday.
Okay.
I'll have you know, Easter's always on a Sunday.
Is that true?
Stop.
No, I know. I assume it is because Easter Sunday, like Good Friday. Yeah. I don't know. The whole calendar. I'm not a fan of the calendar. Good morning.
Labor Day's always a certain day.
Not Christmas.
That's not. I don't even think that's true about Labor Day.
Christmas.
Memorial Day is always a Monday. Right?
See? What'd you say?
I said Memorial Day is always a Monday.
I can't. It is Veterans Day today, by the way. Happy.
It is.
Good stuff. Yes, I know. I'm an idiot. I just told Laufey this, not that. And that is fantastic, though. Finished 6th and a 5 max last night.
Nice.
God damn it, I can't hit the. Yeah. Give myself some credit on tails. We hit Watson last night. I marked as an X. I know. I was just complaining about that. I know.
But you did mention that to me. It's because he parlayed it with everything.
Yeah, no, it was a bad game, and I went to sleep, and I just assumed that lost. But that is a nice little bonus.
Yeah, man.
Goblin Day is always a Tuesday.
You'll take it.
That's
anyway.
Funny.
I was telling you I had a Tank Bigsby prop over 6.5 rushing yards. I hope if you guys tailed me on that, you did so early and not late. Because he had 10. No matter where you got it early on, it would have looked like you were winning that bet. Would have looked pretty good until he lost 3 on his third carry and finished with 7. So if you got in and you tailed me on that one early, no problems. We got the 6.5 before it moved to 9.5. But dude, that would have been a tough way to lose it, huh? On just a 3-yard loss on his third and final carry and never gets an opportunity to get it back.
Yeah, that's like. In college football, when it's a quarterback, that's like always a sweat. But with the running back, you just assume. But it was
I was playing a dangerous game with the 6.5 yard, rushing props.
Yeah, it was just a weird. It was a weird game. I don't know. I don't really have a ton to say about it was a weird week of football. I actually had a good DFS week, all in all. But it was still very weird. And there's going to be some victory laps on the show today, by the way. I hope people
anything
are ready.
To do with Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Also, obviously, let's not bury the lead because, just this guy.
Unreal.
Stupid. Super.
But it's not just that. John hit us up on Thursday. It was like, I told you guys I was going to get the Sims. And then I told you I was going to get the avatar. He goes ahead and does so and ends up taking down, I don't know what contest it was, but 50K. And then his second showdown slate, like Monday Night Football yesterday, takes down another 50K. Had the tools for what? Less than a week. So shout out to John. I know he's followed us.
He's a good guy.
And been a big supporter of the show and the channel and everything we do in the brand for a long time. So well-deserved, John. Appreciate you, man. And congrats.
One thing, you're more of the conspiracy theory loonbat of the two of us on this show, but
more of the deep thinker, you mean?
Yeah, One thing I believe in that I can't prove is DFS heaters are a real thing. And I don't know why that would be, but I actually believe that. Like if you get on a run, sometimes and I know it's like, you probably just don't think about when it's choppy. I have seen so many people break through and then they instantly break through like 2 days later. It's such a weird thing.
I've never seen something make so much sense and such little sense at the same time.
Correct.
Right? I mean, I've been doing these shows for a long time. And so have you. The amount of times that we've seen people, submit to Hall of Fame and shout us out. There have been times where people have gone on like a 3-week long heater where they're literally binking a contest every other day.
Every week.
And some for upwards of millions. I don't mean $1 million on a prize pool. I mean, like, they had 6 different 6-figure wins that tallied to north of $1 million in 3 weeks to a month. Martin, right? Gizmo literally just did that a few months ago.
It happened. It's a weird thing. Like I said,
but you can't quantify it.
No, you can. And some of it is, I do think, probably just because you're a little more like in a flow state, you're relaxed, when you win something like that, you're probably not feeling the heat as much when you build potentially, but I don't know. It's just a weird thing, and it's an awesome state to be in, and enjoy it because, it's impossible to last, but you can make multiple seasons worth of hits in a week or two span. Yeah, man.
Anyway, I wasn't going to victory lap this, but because that dude asked me on Sunday, Laffy, if you get Davis Mills right, are you gonna victory lap it? And then he's like, and if you're wrong, will you open yourself up to criticism? So what does that even mean? First of all, like,
walk of shame
on this show with Ben multiple times a week is opening yourself up for criticism anytime you're wrong. But yes, of course, and I appreciate you guys. First Gino, then Davis Mills. Yeah, Davis Mills, first drive interception, and then it was a super short drive from Jacksonville. And I'm thinking, this is actually perfect. Like, I love the quick interception. I was hoping it was a pick six, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But then they went down, and after they scored that first one, and not to mention, Nico had that big 50-plus yard run at the end of the half that didn't result in a touchdown, but helped you out. So now Nico's got like 100 at halftime, and you don't need all that much. And then it just started snowballing in the second half, and Jacksonville kind of is who we thought they were. Davis Mills ended up having almost 30 DraftKings points on the day at $4,500. So
same with Brissett. It was the same. It was literally the same thing. They were down 35-0 instantly, and they were so irrelevant that he actually got pulled from the game because the Cardinals are just a disgrace to society.
But he still finished with 21. Like, he's still salvaged.
And McBride is just an absolute animal. That guy is unbelievable. So the only thing that sucked for me was a lot of Jerry Jeudy was in my anytime touchdown parlay, and I hit that, and we had a big old celebration on tails. On the DFS side, I had him with anything in that game, which was just a death mode because the Jets were so inept, and they scored twice on punt return, kickoff returns. So it was just, that part sucked.
Yeah, it was stupid is what it was. I mean, what did the Jets have? 3 offensive points in that game or something?
Yeah, they did absolutely nothing. And Breece Hall broke like a 60-yard screen pass for a touchdown.
Ah, that's right.
Did not help me either.
Late, yeah.
Yeah. So
ended up being 27 to 20. All right, so they had 14 special teams points, right?
2 field goals and a Breece Hall touchdown.
Yeah, because Justin Fields had, like, no joke, 2 passing yards or something in the third quarter. Not in the third quarter, he passed for 2 yards. It was the third quarter, and he had 2 yards passing.
Correct. It was bad. So, but overall, yeah, I was happy with the week, and then I can never get JSN right. Like, I didn't really understand. Did they hold him out of the game?
Well, did you see how many times Darnold threw?
Yeah, I just didn't understand because he got hurt, but then he came back in the fourth quarter. It seemed.
Yeah, I don't know. But did you actually see how many times Darnold threw in that game?
Yeah. Well, I watched the whole game because I had Cardinal stacks.
He threw 12 passes. Yeah. 12.
JSN had like 4 for 85 and 1 in the first quarter.
I know. And then Cooper Kupp had like 2 for 92 for the game. I took a shot on longest reception for Rashid Shaheed because I was like, look, he's a straight line guy. They might just work him in. And then I'm like, man, he did nothing today. And then I go back and look because someone was bitching on Twitter about it to me. Dude, Darnold threw 12 times. I don't know what no one expected him to throw 12 times in the game. So yeah, it is what it is. It's a weird game. Anyway, let's get into it. John Jefferson, Jerry Judy Foundation, $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. Davis Mills Foundation. Thank you again, man. Appreciate it. You got to be riding high right now, dude.
That's a great feeling. Just stare at, do yourself a favor. Just stare at the balance. It's a great feeling. Just soak it in.
My name's just in here.
Just,
you know,
that's such a good feeling. One I vaguely remember. It's a faint memory.
Been a bit for me as well.
Like I'm pretty sure. I'm doing the new thing where I've done this now twice in the last week, where I wake up, I refresh, and I'm like, geez, they didn't update. I can't believe they have not paid out Showdown. That is super surprising. And then it dawns on me, they have paid out Showdown. My balance just hasn't changed at all for an obvious reason. I did that this morning again. I'm like, man, they didn't pay out? And I'm like, oh, that's what happened. Just bagel.
So I'm trying to fix my lighting here real quick.
Fix that lighting. We got to talk about Goblins.
We do. Anyway, let's get into Goblins of the week.
Are you frozen?
Have any good ones? I don't know if there's anything that stands out.
Now your microphone is screwed up. Now you're on mute. I don't know what you did. And you're blurry. All three things have gone wrong, or maybe it's on my end. No, it's not. You see what I have to deal with? I got to find the. Now I'm going to have to dig into the archives and find the Goblin thing on my own. Oh, okay. Well, at least in his dying breaths, he put up the Goblin for me. So we got two Goblins. One is Loughran. Two, I was going to go with the Bills because you can't be losing to the Dolphins. That's absurd. But I'm honestly going to go with the Jaguars as the Goblin of the week. What are you doing? Hello? You can't hear me. I'm going to stick with my Jaguars comments. We can't hear you, Loughran. Yeah. Okay. Jaguars. You're down up an insurmountable amount on Davis. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to do it like like this. Up an insurmountable amount on Houston. And then, for some reason, are you here?
I got you. I had you.
Welcome back. I've tried to mention the Jaguars as a Goblin 7 times, and I can't do it.
Oh, here's Jeff Williams, by the way. Jeff, always coming in to talk shit. That's the same one asking me about Davis Mills. Well, here's my victory lap, Jeff. You can't. Here's my victory lap.
It's behind the Goblin?
Yeah, well, you couldn't exactly see. I meant to do it with the other hand, but he got lucky. Anyway, go ahead. Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
It's just stupid. There are the Jaguars, the Falcons, these teams, every year it's the same story. They show promise, they have and then they lose games that they have no business losing. It's just not a real thing to lose that game. You can't lose that game. And it's a disaster for a team like Jacksonville, who once again just shows that they're honestly irrelevant.
Every single year. And it's like, oh, Liam Cohen, he'll figure it out. It hasn't happened. By the way, I told you guys earlier in the week, I have a new setup. I will be tweaking some things as we go. There will be some hiccups along the way. Next time that happens, Ben, do me just run with it. Because I'm trying to work.
I was running, but
I know. I got a full. And Jeff, I'm just messing around. I actually Ben knows. I love that type of banter. We need more of that. We need more shit talking in these shows, if we're being honest.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Well, Jeff does it.
He's a good guy, but we have too many stupid people. We need to vet. This audience is very strong, but our Sunday audience, we've got a lot of character.
Sure. I think Jeff at times may do it in a spiteful and passive-aggressive way, but I still like him, and he still tunes into the show.
Don't play Jonathan Taylor. It's like, do you even understand the concepts of DFS at all, people?
Anyway, we'll have a few bumps along the way, and then we'll have this process streamlined. Leave it to me to change the setup during football season and not NFL.
Smart. Every time I said Jaguars, you would put me behind the Goblin.
It was accidental, dude.
Okay.
Look, you remember my StreamYard setup was bad. The StreamYard was glitching on me. We haven't had that one time since I got the new setup. It has been way smoother. Now it's just a matter of, trying to get the lighting and everything. Anyway, it is the Buffalo Bills. I mean, and quite frankly, I think you could even take it a step further, right? It's the Bills. Because they didn't just lose, they got blown out, right? They got blown out. I think it's Brandon Beane, because he was on like a local radio, like local sports show, berating, absolutely berating the hosts about being like, you guys didn't really make any notable acquisitions as far as skill players go, like wide receivers. You didn't do much, right? And he's like, we've got great players. And then he's like, who scored the most points in the league last year? He got really pissed off. You could actually go back and listen to this. Who scored the most points in the league? Who's this and that, right? And now you look at them and it's like, yeah, maybe Keon Coleman and the frequently injured Dalton Kincaid are not the answer you needed. And they did nothing at the trade deadline. You could have gone out and you could have got like a Rashid Shaheed. You could have gotten somebody, even a Jacoby Myers. They decided not to, and they just got their doors blown off by the Miami Dolphins, who were truly the most lifeless team in the league no more than 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't. I've been adamant that the Bills still are going to win the East, and I don't know now, because obviously New England, credit to them, they're really good. I did not think they were going to beat Tampa, and they just know what they're doing. And the Bills are just, you can't lose games like that to a lifeless team. So one quick thing, rest in peace to Mr. Dable on the Giants coaching staff. He has been axed. Credit to this guy, though. Laffy, I don't think he was ever a Goblin of the Week, ever. He was just standard inept the whole time. He was. I can't ever remember mentioning him.
Well, I don't either. I honestly, in a strange sense, kind of feel bad for him. Like, they played so many competitive games this year. No joke. Like they played a lot of competitive games. He finally got the guy he was looking for in Jackson Dart. And then Malik Neighbors blows out his knee.
And then Scatterboo does too.
Scatterboo does too. It just wasn't meant to be. I kind of feel like he was scapegoated here in the sense that they actually never, and I'm not saying Brian Dable was, head coach extraordinaire as I am producer or self-producer. But I'm not really sure, like you said, he never really was bad to the point where you're like, this guy has to go now. And I kind of feel like they scapegoated him.
Yeah. I mean, definitely a bad, like, there's a very real argument to make that despite everything that's happened, if Dart doesn't get concussed, they win on Sunday and none of this happens.
Agreed, but also impossible for Dart not to get concussed.
Yes.
The way that guy plays, seriously, everyone talks about Cam Scatterboo playing like someone who's actively seeking out CTE. So does Jackson Dart, man. Yeah.
And then Russell Wilson plays like he already has CTE because he is just these people, the announcers need to stop with like, well, they have a capable backup. They might have the worst back. He has no idea what he's doing.
It's bad. You should really just put Jameson there.
Or go like wild. Put Wandell in, honestly.
I bet they start Jameis this week.
Yeah.
Actually, they might be on a bye. I don't even. No, they're not. They're not. They're on this slate.
Oh yeah, the entire. Well, that's a good one thing, and then we're gonna get into the slate. This is true. That was extenuating circumstance. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. How the Giants lost that game earlier this year to the Broncos when they gave up like 40 points in the.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was bad. Yep, that was bad. Can I give you one more?
Sure.
You don't know him. Many of you don't.
What? You see, I'm going to give you one more. You're the Goblin of the Week. Now I got to bring up DraftKings. Hold on, people. You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Let's see what we can find here. All right, let's bring up the pricing. We'll talk about week 11 and get into the quarterbacks. I'm going to have to get into the quarterbacks and tell you what the hell is going on here as we go. All right. You got to be
I'm
kidding.
sorry, man.
What the fuck? And I don't like to curse on this show.
I'd like to blame it on this new setup. I don't know what's going on.
Can you just bring up the pricing before you leave so I can go on with my day here? Or do I have to bring up the pricing? Looks like I might have to bring it up. Look at this. Really, really disturbing stuff. All right, here we go, friends. Don't worry. Can't hold us down with technology. I will be handling this. Oh, yeah, it is just me now. Okay, good. Now I'm in control. Everybody. If you're not back, I'm permanently kicking you out of the stream.
You might actually have to. It's quite embarrassing. Look at this now. It's quite embarrassing. Do you think I want to be doing this? Do you think this is what I want to be happening?
Protection now.
If it goes out, you may just have. I'm serious. You may just have to do the show on your own.
That's fine if I have to, but I got to get up the.
I got you. I'm gonna present the screen right now.
Well, yeah, but then will I be able to change the screen? All right, we don't have. Hold on. DraftKings. No, son of a Vondruk. All right, here we go. Device is not connected. Okay. Yeah. I'll handle this because we'll just go like this. Share screen. Don't worry. I'm a trained professional. I know what I'm doing. Here we go. Yep. You see? Okay. Here we go. And it is snowing. It's not snowing here yet, but it's supposed to be cold today. Quarterbacks. Here we go. Mahomes is back. They were off the bye. Stafford, who quietly, maybe it's not quiet to you guys, just stupid efficient. I believe he's got 20 straight touchdowns without throwing a pick. It's like 25-4 on the year. Something outrageous with that. You've got Baker, you've got Herbert, you've got Nix, Jordan Love, who was pretty underwhelming last night. Caleb, who only plays in straight outrageous games. Sam Darnold, who we talked about the volume, or I guess now it'll be I talked about the volume. Purdy, I don't know if he's even going to play. It doesn't matter. Dart, he has to pass protocol. Flacco against the Steelers, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's start with the top tier. I didn't even mention the guys at the very top because I didn't scroll. We've got Josh Allen and we've got Lamar. So right off the bat, so far this year, not all, but the majority of these weeks, you've got a sub 55, sub 6K quarterback holding it down. These guys are getting 25, they're getting 30. And guys like Josh Allen are not able to make up the difference in points. And that is just really, really difficult. Having said that, I just watched the Curb episode, if you know what I'm talking about. Josh Allen, off the ridiculously bad showing, I do like him this week, back at home, weather pending, but I think it'll be fine, to really have a good game. They were just not there, and they fell so far behind in Miami. He was actually fine. He just point per dollar couldn't keep up with Mills and Brissett and some of these other guys as we work down. So if you have the money, go ahead and get Josh Allen. I'm fine with that. Now, Stafford at home against Seattle, that's going to be an absolute. I really respect Seattle's defense. Not sure I want to mess around with that. Kansas City at Denver, I really respect Denver's defense. Lamar at Cleveland, I really respect the Browns defense. So you've got, yeah, that's right. Don't even think about entering the
I'm just gonna do it in the dark.
Yeah, go ahead. Go radio silent. I'll just sense like a Jedi when you're about to talk.
This new setup is working great for me. So
yeah, no, this is good.
I'm going straight. I'm going witness protection. Go ahead. I was listening.
Oh yeah. Well, I was talking about the top tier. I went through. Most of them have tough matchups. Honestly, to me, it's Josh Allen, and then it's going to be, you got Baker on the other side of that game. You've got Justin Herbert, who he has taken too many hits. He is next on, he's not seeking out contact like Jackson Dart, but he is next on the I'm seriously concerned that he's not going to make it through the season situation. So floor is yours while you're here. Allen, Herbert for me.
I will say, appreciate you guys bearing with me. Ben, thank you. No issues until today, but entirely my fault. Somehow, I don't know what's going on. It's, to me, this just feels like the game where I have to play as much Josh Allen as humanly possible. I actually think there's a lot of really tough, like I don't love this slate for quarterbacks. You know, you have Brock Purdy, Jackson Dart, CJ Stroud, two of those in protocol, and Brock Purdy, we don't even know if he's going to play. Those are the guys you're dealing with injuries. But yeah, you have Stafford against Seattle. Could that game shoot out? Absolutely. Baker against Buffalo, sure. Herbert against Jacksonville, looking at these guys, 6K and up. And then Jordan Love's got so many injuries to this team. That offense genuinely looks terrible right now. I really think Josh Allen, this is the type of week where it was bad last week. It hasn't been great for him for a little while now. Honestly, it hasn't. Josh Allen may be a guy that I jam this week.
Yeah, again, all systems go. It's just it really partly comes down to how much do we love these guys in the dirt cheap ranges. And I don't like them nearly as much as I did last week. There's not as many in super advantageous positions, like Cam Ward's going against Houston. I don't think you're really going to go there. JJ McCarthy will probably be popular at 52 against this Bears defense inside, who the Bears have shown nothing besides being incredibly lucky. And credit to them. They're winning games when the opportunity.
There we go. Just keep talking, man. Don't worry.
No, I just, every time you do something, it's,
this is better though.
Yeah. And then you've got, like, I don't really want to go to Brissett or Kyler, not going to do that. I guess you could go to Bryce Young at 48 if you're really dumpster diving, sub 5K against Atlanta. But despite, as we talked about, Atlanta's totally inept, but Atlanta at times looks like a juggernaut, and that defense is improved. So I don't really love these type of spots. Regardless, Rodgers, he kind of looks a little washed, not going to lie. I don't think I'm going to get to him either.
That was a brutal game from Aaron Rodgers. Brutal.
Yeah, he did not play well. He missed some open guys.
Wide open. There's no reason that game shouldn't have been competitive, and it wasn't. I'd still consider him against Cincinnati, but honestly, wouldn't you rather just go to Jaylen Warren here? Like, Jaylen Warren's sub 6K. Or sorry, he's 6,100. I would just rather go to Jaylen Warren. So, I don't know. That would be
Nico.
my. What's that?
Nothing. The Mavs fired Nico. Good job, boys.
Oh wow, look at that. By the way, there was a before I cut out, I did want to say that the Goblin of the week is that guy who DMs me every week that when Bryce Young throws for 102 yards and wins the game. Oddly enough, I did not get a DM from him this week, Ben.
Did you DM him?
I'm going to.
You should.
I'm waiting for an opportune time. He stinks, man. Like, how are we acting like Bryce Young is good?
He's like Bryce Young.
What?
I'm a Bryce Young truther. I think Bryce Young is okay.
Okay. I mean, what did they score? 7 points against the Saints at home?
Yeah, no, I bet Carolina. Big mistake. That was one of his worst data points to date.
The difference with Bryce Young, and by the way, he is on this slate. He's 4,800.
Yep.
Is that there's going to be times where they win games. They won 4 straight and 5 of 6. But I mean, this guy, you want to talk about the epitome of a game manager that Dave Canales is just absolutely looking to mask his inefficiencies. That is it right there, man. I mean, I don't think there is any denying that. Is he the worst in the league? No, but this guy throws for like 120, 150 yards a game and they win. And it's like, oh man, Bryce Young, nice game. Anyway.
I don't disagree with any of that. It's been underwhelming, to say the least. So yeah, 11-7, that's just not going to get it done. So
what, no, not at all. So anyway, we could, if you'd like, we could just move on to running backs here.
Yeah, I think quarterback is always pretty easy to decipher. You've got a handful of names. You've got $9,000 Christian McCaffrey, who also underwhelmed last week. Now, Robinson took a TD. They were trailing. I didn't think it was the worst. It showed his floor, and he was crucial for me. I'm a little disappointed because I'm a Gibbs truther, and you let me know, Luffy, when you want to switch. Yep.
Gotcha. Yep. See, I had everything set up. It's just everything went out on me. But we're good now. You're a what truther?
Gibbs. I think Gibbs is arguably the best player in the league. Jonathan Taylor right now is playing like the best player. If I could have a running back, I would take Gibbs. That would be my guy. He's unbelievable.
By the way, Trey said Caleb isn't in a horrible spot. I'll be honest. I don't like this spot for Caleb with the pressure that Flores can dial up. I think it's a pretty tough spot, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge fan. I know he didn't spend a ton of time on quarterback, but give me your top three again. I know you gave him a second ago, but just for anyone that's tuning in late.
Allen, Herbert, McCarthy.
Okay. Allen, Herbert, McCarthy. I'm going to go Allen. And is Allen your clear number one right now?
Yes.
Me too. Herbert, Gadsden might be out, but still, Herbert is actually mine as well.
I like that.
You do? Yeah. Concentrate the targets there more. Yeah. It's not going to be Rodgers. I am tempted to play Jordan Love against the Giants, but I'm not going to do it. Well, I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, but it honestly, it might be Stafford and Darnold. That game could shoot out.
I don't know how good Seattle's defense is. They've looked unbelievable, but quality of opponent, I am so down on Washington and I'm so down on Arizona. I don't know how much that even means.
Agreed, but I also think it's a good football team.
What do you mean?
I'm saying I agree that the quality of opponents haven't been good, but this is still a good football team in Seattle.
I agree. That's why I'm worried about Stafford a little.
Oh, about Stafford?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because Darnold was the one that just faced Washington and Arizona. So I'm missing your point.
I'm saying Seattle's defense played Washington, Arizona.
Oh, you don't know.
I think are so inept. I don't know how good they are, but I actually think Seattle's defense is that good. And for Stafford, he's going to be it's not in Seattle, but it's a tough matchup, I think.
Now I see what you're saying. Yep. Totally get it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the running back position and start at the top. You already mentioned our boy, Jahmyr Gibbs, who's just, the guy is ridiculous, man. He's just so good. This is probably, he's on Sunday night. I know you were just talking about.
Yeah, he's just unbelievable.
Yeah. They got the Eagles on Sunday night. That should be a fun game. But I must say, you have Christian McCaffrey at Arizona, Bijan against Carolina. I think there's a point here where, if you're Atlanta, you've got to come into this game at home knowing that you got embarrassed in Carolina 30-0 last time you played them. 30-0, Ben. They did not get the ball past the 50-yard line in that game. So you have Bijan, you have Josh Jacobs at 7,800. And man, if there was ever going to be a contrarian play on this slate in the high tier, 7K and up, James Cook. It's not the best matchup, but Trevion Henderson ran all over this Tampa team last week. I have some interest if James Cook ends up being very low owned. And by the way, remember I said how much last Tuesday I liked Devon Achane and we didn't know what his ownership was going to be like? I still got so much Devon Achane despite his ownership. It didn't make a difference for me because I didn't have enough Henderson and Gibbs. But McCaffrey, Robinson, Jacobs, Cook, I think all of them are viable. But there's something about Bijan this week. He's been real quiet lately. He could go off for a monster game at any point. The only thing I hate is that Tyler Algier gets work, and he gets work at the goal line.
Yeah, again, I know that game was, in Berlin, so it wasn't on the main slate, but we saw that, and it's a problem, but it's also a problem that Bijan can overcome in the right run out. So it is a push and pull. I still listen. He's always going to be in play. It's going to be an ownership game. I would say it's going to go ownership. If we had an ownership gut feel, I would go McCaffrey, Bijan, Jacobs, Cook. I'd go in the order of the salaries, I would say.
Okay. I might flip Cook and Jacobs because I think the ownership there, I think there'll be a decent disparity in ownership.
Could be right. Jacobs is hard to decipher because part of me, he was somewhat viable last night in an all ugly game. He's got the Giants. So, yeah, like he still had 21 carries and 6 targets. Yeah, I think Jacobs is going to steam in ownership this week. I do.
So that's what I'm saying, though. That we're saying the same thing, and I think Cook will be virtually unowned.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was saying, are you saying Jacobs could eclipse one of the other two?
No, I was saying that in order of my preference, I would put Cook ahead of Jacobs because I think the ownership difference there is going to be significant.
Oh, for sure. I was ranking them in projected ownership.
Oh, got you.
I was saying I think McCaffrey will be the most popular, then Bijan, then Jacobs, then Cook, right in that order.
Definitely. And I could see Cook being far behind these guys. Actually.
I think so too, potentially.
Steven, Henderson was able to run outside on Tampa when the Pats run inside. Yeah, of course. That's the script. That's why I like Drake May rushing. He didn't get there, but I did like that spot. And Trey, I can't wait to come in next week and victory lap a 30 DK point game from Kill. I do it, man. This is the place to do so. As long as you call your shots early, I'm all about it. Because I'm in a victory lap, and so is Ben if we're right. And we'll take our lumps if we're wrong.
Is Bucky ever returning?
Dude, he's doubtful again for week 11. So is Chris Godwin.
Like,
I know, and they just had their bye week too.
I don't understand. I that's obviously not relevant to the slate, but I don't understand what's going on with Bucky. I thought he'd be back by now.
Me too. Yeah, dude, he was supposed to be back after a handful of weeks, and he's nursing 2 injuries. I don't know, but I think the mid tier and the sub 6K tier are super intriguing this week. I'd still go back to Dowdle at 6,800.
I got him kind of right that he was fine, but you did not need Dowdle last week.
No, he had like 15 or something. No, you don't need that at all. You kind of don't want that. Jaylen Warren against Cincinnati, though, to me, I know he played fewer snaps last week than Kenny Gainwell, but I don't really care because if you look at the opportunities there, wow, 14 attempts. Mind you, they played from behind the whole game. 14 rushing attempts for Jaylen Warren and 2 targets. Kenny Gainwell did not have a single rushing attempt on the game. This is just a really good spot. I would think they want to run the football. Arthur Smith is going to want to run the football given, seemingly significant limitations for Aaron Rodgers right now. I like Jaylen Warren in this spot quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Working down. This similar to what you just said, workload's undeniable for Vidal right now. He had another 20. It was the same game, but he had 25 carries, just monster workload.
Do you want to hear the backfield split? I posted this last night on Twitter. Vidal played 93% of the snaps. There were 72 offensive snaps. He played 68 of them, 25 carries in that game. Jarrett Patterson had 1 carry on 4 total snaps. The workload for Vidal right now, getting this guy at sub 6K, that is a really good spot when you're coming into this game as a favorite against this Jacksonville team. You want me to give you another guy? Let me give you another guy that saw crazy splits this week. Woody Marks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you don't have to love him, but he is going up against the Titans. He's a 7.5 point favorite. Check this out. We saw it potentially moving in this direction, and this way it finally did, or this week it finally did. 60 snaps to 10 for Nick Chubb. 60 to 10. 14 carries to 5 and 3 targets to 1. It maybe that's just a 1 week thing, but it does look like Woody Marks is beginning to separate himself from Nick Chubb. $5,400 is a 7.5 point road favorite. I have some respect for the defense of the Tennessee Titans on the ground, but not enough to have zero interest in Woody Marks at 5,400, especially if I'm paying $7K for Josh Allen.
Yeah, listen, you're going to need to find some of that. We just mentioned elite running backs, elite quarterbacks. ETN, don't love the matchup, but I'd throw his name in the mix. 20 touches is in the realm. And then we'll see. We'll see what type of injuries pop up. Like if Dobbins, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any crazy breaking news down here, but we'll see. Aaron Jones, I think you could make a case. I don't love it though, to be honest.
I kind of don't hate Aaron Jones this
No,
week.
I don't hate it either.
You know why? I think I'm glad you brought it up. It kind of feels like the Vikings are souring on Jordan Mason.
Oh, they are. They
Right?
absolutely are.
I mean, Aaron Jones, despite, being a dinosaur as far as age goes for running backs, is still pretty decent. He's still a quality pass catcher. I kind of like him against the Chicago defense. This is not a very good Chicago defense.
No.
I like him this week. I actually have him written down. I have 3 guys below 6K that I wrote down. If you have anybody else, fire them the way. Same with you guys in chat. Kamani Vidal, 5,900. Aaron Jones, 5,500. Woody Marks at 5,400.
That's about all there is. I don't know where else you're going. I like the Arizona situation is just such a mess. If everybody got ruled out and it was like just DeMarcado left, maybe, sure. But I don't want to play that game.
No, you're right. That's what it would have to come down to. Bam Knight would have to be out.
Yeah.
I don't know when Trey Benson's returning from the IR, but he'd have to be out as well. It would have to be entirely DeMarcado's backfield for sure. I want to ask you about one more guy here. Well, 2 actually, because we agree Jaylen Warren at 6,100 is a very nice play this week, right? I do also think he'll be chalk.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 other guys. And yes, whoever just mentioned Chase Brown. What's his price again? I mentioned him earlier.
57. It's fine.
I don't know how I missed that. I mentioned that earlier in the show. He's okay. I don't love him against Pittsburgh. I know he was solid against Pittsburgh last time out, but I don't love him. I don't hate him at 5,700. Not one of my favorites. I'd rather have Vidal. And honestly, I'd rather have a couple guys beneath him. What about, you're not going to like this, and he did not have a solid game last time. He is literally Derrick Henry. He's Derrick Henry right now, just on a worse team. Quinshon Judkins at home against Baltimore. The only reason I ask you is because this Cleveland defense at home is remarkably good. Every single time this team plays at home, they end up really limiting opponents. Now, Baltimore is not your typical opponent. I understand that. But look at them at home this year, man. Where is it?
Yeah.
Like, they're really good at home. They're allowing 230 total yards per game, 80 rushing yards, 154 passing. They've also faced some pretty respectable teams at home this year. 13 points per game allowed at home compared to 30 points per game allowed on the road this year. Massive, massive difference. They went up against Burrow, allowed 17. Jordan Love with a healthy offense, they allowed 10. That was not technically a home game. That was a London game. Miami, they held them to 6. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. If this game ends up being semi-close and Judkins is like 1%.
Yeah, I listen, you can always make a pivot like that. The problem is, I think, even in those games, it just might be an underwhelming game on both sides. And it's like, if
I agree.
If Cleveland's defense just drags down Judkins too, you don't get anything for that. If he was in the mid-5s, definitely, but him and Rachaad White. It's the same problem. I don't know how big the ceiling is.
Rachaad White, man, he's been really disappointing since he took over.
He can't break 4 yards per carry.
No, he had one good game because he's now started 5 games without Bucky Irving. And the only reason he had a good game is because he got 2 goal line carries and scored twice. That was literally the only reason Rachaad White had a decent game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not chasing any of that. There's nothing even to chase. I'm just not playing him.
So then give me your top 4 running backs this week.
Bijan, Jacobs, Warren, and Vidal.
Okay.
I don't think running back is ever the time to be like wide receiver. You can do weird stuff. I don't think running back is ever the place to be like, you need the volume.
I'm willing to do it when it is the James Cook types that we've seen in the past.
Well, those are elite players in bad matchups, not bad players that you hope get work, but they're not going to.
Right, with questionable workloads for sure. All right. McCaffrey, I still think McCaffrey, even when he has bad games, is just still the workload is outrageous. And if Brian Robinson didn't score, it's just another good game from Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
Bijan, Warren, you said Vidal. I'm going to go Woody Marks. I'm going to say Woody Marks at 5,400. If he ends up having a similar workload to last time and they end up playing with the lead, they're 7.5-point road favorites, I could get on board with that for sure. All right, Ben, let's go ahead and talk for a moment about the wide receiver position. Before we do, though, how about the fact, and I saw a comment earlier in chat, someone saying that he had a great night last night, signed up through our one of our partners with Better, BETR, ended up getting the Sims and having a great night. And we see this all the time. It's a Tuesday. I genuinely think there is no better time to take advantage of this, because if you place the bet today, right? Because this is all you have to do is go in to the link in the description. You can tap it if you're on your phone, if you're on desktop, just expand it, whatever it may be. All right, go in and sign up with any of the sportsbook partners that we have. Anyone, it does not matter. It's right here. This is what you'll see when you go into the description, right? When you click that link. Sign up with one of them by clicking claim offer. Now, it could be a sweepstakes book if you're in a non-legal state. Onyx is in 40 plus states. You're also getting some great bonuses with a lot of these. It could be Better, Sleeper, Underdog, DraftKings Pick 6. If you're, again, sign up by clicking claim offer. That's how we track you. Make a deposit, $5 or $10 minimum deposit on all of these. Then place a bet or set a DFS pick'em lineup, right? When it settles, just take screenshots of your welcome email and your first settled bet and email us, not the books, at support@stokastic.com, and just let us know what you want. That's it. Let us know what you want. If you want, every one of these equals a new month. So if you signed up on Fanatics, Onyx, and Caesars, you could say, can I have 2 months of the NFL core, 1 month of NBA? And let us know what you signed up on, Caesars, Onyx, and Fanatics, just to make Ron's life easier over at customer support. But I figure, Ben, you do it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, even a Thursday. Now we have time to get back to, even though Ron does it quickly. But you also have time to familiarize yourself with all of these tools. And you can literally get 3 months. It's $130 typically if you were to buy a month of core Sims, any sport, or NFL, $130. If you were to do it this way, you could legitimately do it for max $30, minimum like $15. And that's that's 3 months. So do it early in the week, familiarize yourself with the tools. So when you come in on Thursday or for the showdown or Sunday, you're 100% ready to go.
We've seen it. We've seen it time and time again. People who are taking advantage, and it's not just, as you look at these screenshots, this is my favorite stuff. Yes, I want people to win the milli. That's fantastic. That's amazing. But there's a million people out there who are using our tools that are saying, I just want a month's rent. I just have the ability to buy some extra stuff around the holidays. I just got $300 for my bankroll. That's the type of stuff. These tools, being able to get them for a month for free is a huge game changer if you're really looking to grind. And sure, take your lotto shots. I always do. I still throw my teams in the milli, but I'm more concerned about trying to get my 3 max and my 5 max right and say, all right, I have a real shot here to turn, some money into a couple $1,000s to make my winter, to really make my season. So just take advantage and again, follow those instructions. No better time of the year. Thanksgiving's going to be here in 2 weeks.
I know.
Crazy.
And if you have questions, you can always hit us up in the comments or DM me over on Twitter at Laffy. Very easy way to do it. All right. Wide receiver position, man, I'm telling you right now, I don't know what to do up top. I may lean on you right now because you have JSN against the Rams in a potential shootout. Who knows? It could be. Puka Nacua at home against Seattle in the same exact matchup. You've got Jamar Chase at Pittsburgh. He destroyed them last time out. Their secondary is just not good. Rashee Rice against Denver. They will not have Patrick Surtain. At least that is the expectation, that Surtain will remain out of this one. I don't know if Devontae Adams plays, but even Justin Jefferson against Chicago is somewhat intriguing because that Chicago secondary is not very good. Drake London, he's going to see some JC Horn, but that guy's just been incredible. And then Ibuka coming off a massive target share last week. They're 5.5-point dogs. I mean, how do you even discern who's in play and who isn't at the top of this position this week? It's really tough.
There's no great answer because these are all elite players, and I'd say in pretty advantageous matchups on the whole. So you're gonna have to pick your poison, and you're gonna have to short someone who's really good. I tend to go to Jamar Chase. I just think that on the road in division, almost last stand time, they need to get back to just giving him 20 targets. That's not even an exaggeration. I'm talking literally 20 targets. And I think we could see another one of those games. So you have it there. Jefferson, I just think matchup-wise is probably in the best spot. But besides Devontae Adams, who I think no one reasonable is going to play for the most part, he'll be very low owned. You've got 9 other guys on the screen. I'm going to throw in Nico and Ladd, particularly if Gadsden sits.
Of course.
I really like the spot for him. So this could be the equivalent of what we've seen with quarterbacks to a lesser extent, where I expect JSN and Nacua to have very good games. But if Ladd, and I know you can play 4 of them, so it's a little different, but if some of these mid 6K guys have equally effective games, you're going to want that salary because instead of me, you're playing Woody Marks and I'm playing Bijan, at running back. And that could be the difference this week.
Yeah, it could. Or the difference could be I'm playing Woody Marks and Jamar
Yep.
and Woody. Like that is tough. I also think though, you could go down to T Higgins at 6K. Marvin Harrison's $5,800 against the banged up San Francisco team. DK Metcalf. I know the passing game looks bad there, but he's $5,700. And then you know what? Because Christopher Olsen, I don't even disagree with this, saying Jefferson would be 6K by production standards if it wasn't for his name. It should be a get right spot for him. Though, so he's saying he's probably overpriced. I agree, but I mean, at the same time, could you just say, you know what, $5,500 Jordan Addison could be in play?
Absolutely.
Jordan Addison's a decent player. It's just JJ McCarthy has not played particularly well. He makes a couple nice plays each game, but he really hasn't done all that much, and he is not buoying his receivers at all. Shit, I might just say go down to a $3,500 Jalen Naylor at this point. Because I'm just saying it's a good matchup, right? It's a good matchup. Naylor's $3,500. He's clearly not Addison or Jefferson, and he had a crazy spike week last week. But no, I do think there are some really good options, even if you decide not to jam 2 of the top guys.
Yeah. Oh no, this is the thing. I think wide receiver is pretty deep. So although I love these guys up top, I'm still fine with getting to some of these, again, whether it's a secondary charger, a Bill like Shakir, we'll see if Dart, clears, but Wandale's been in this perpetual 5K range. DK Metcalf at 57. I know Rodgers has been rough, but 57 is a decent point for him. And then, even where the hell is Worthy? Worthy's down to
4,900. I was going to bring him up.
Yeah. I mean, listen, 2 weeks ago, that was my big stand. I absolutely loved the spot against the Bills, and he did nothing. And it was more a product of the team than him. So I'm willing to give him a pass a little. Like, he got 7 targets. They just didn't really produce. I still like him though, as a potential piece in this Chiefs offense, even though Rice, yes, is the guy. The prices are now like we're talking $3,000 difference between the two.
Well, I also think there's a possibility that, Vance Joseph's a great defensive coordinator, and we saw them effectively take Brock Bowers out of that game last week. He had one reception. It was a long reception, but he had one reception on the day. Could it be that they prioritize limiting Rashee Rice, and you end up getting the Xavier Worthy game? To me, that could be a possibility here against the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, and Worthy is playing, it's not a snap count issue. He's on the field more than anybody. So he's living out there. It's just Bills like in terms of there's no priority for the targets.
I don't know about you, but I could see myself going heavy on some Xavier Worthy props this week, posting them to tails the moment they drop, hopefully on Wednesday.
Yeah, I could be convinced of doing that.
I mean, only because they might just be really low. Yeah, like, I'm genuinely wondering if they're going to be in the 40s.
I would guess like 48.5.
If they come in at 48.5, got to do it, right?
I mean, yeah, I've been on that bandwagon for quite a while here. Yeah, Juwan Jennings 51. Hey, your boy, the Bet Baba.
He's a profitable bettor, man, and he shows his results. You got to love it. Got to love it. I'm on the Explore page. We have a new trending topics feature on the Explore page. So if you're looking for, like yesterday, only Monday Night Football promos and boosts, or only Monday Night Football bets, you got it. Little Maction today. Here we go. Oh, you fixed it.
I fixed it. Yeah. I need to count all my winners. Akron tonight. You got to get Loughran, you really need to bet that game. You really
I'll
should.
bet it with you.
Kent State hasn't won on the road since 2022.
Wow.
That's bad.
And we got the leaderboards. Oh, wanted to shout out everybody who hit us with a review over the weekend. We got a bunch of reviews pour in on the Tails app. So
yeah.
Thank you to you guys. We keep climbing in the ranks, and it's all due to you. If you're enjoying the Tails app, and I know a lot of you are, because I've seen our downloads recently, and the downloads are spiking. Yeah, man. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Thank you. We'll never ask you. There's some great VIP and premium accounts there. Like Ben has one, Eric, Mitch, DK, the Bet Baba. A lot of these guys have premium packages that you can check out. But there's also free picks every single day, that if you're someone who just wants to come in and grab free picks or start that way, man, simply no better way to do it. Absolutely no better way to do it than that right there. So appreciate all the ratings and the reviews. If you have a second throughout the day or the week, hit us with a rating, hit us with a quick review, take a minute. We'll never ask you for money over there, but I will ask you for a review if you enjoy the app and if you enjoy what we have. So appreciate it to all of you guys.
Yeah.
And also, it's just awesome over there.
It really is. That was all I was going to say. If you haven't downloaded the Tails app yet, do yourself a favor. Again, it's free to download. It's free to use. Download it and check it out. It's honestly awesome. I can say this, and I say this about the Sims as well, but if I wasn't affiliated with the company, there's 100% chance I would be on Tails. Like, I would use it. I absolutely would. It's an awesome place to get bets, awesome place to have fun. You get different types of bettors. That's my favorite thing. We have people like Bet Baba, super transparent, tracking everything, diligent in profits. Then we have a lot of people on there that are like, I'm going for long shot parlays. I'm having fun with, and that's fantastic too, because there's something for everybody. And that's what it's all about. Just find who you like, follow them, and start making some bets. One-click mapping, so you're instantly in on the sweat.
Yes, sir.
It's bet awesome. Akron tonight. Everyone bet Akron.
Let's do it. Doc Holliday, Lavi, good morning. I told you to fade Allen. 23 points of that price tag is insane. I have to bet larger. Yeah, I mean, I think actually that Allen was still in a lot of winning lineups. I was looking at some of that. What?
My best lineup actually had. He was not what I wanted, but he didn't kill you because of the raw points.
No, but in fairness, yeah, he was not good. They fell behind early. He was not great. But he also, that doesn't kill you either. That's not a death knell, right? That's not a death sentence when you have 23 from Allen. But fading Allen still would not have hurt you at all, and was probably a better decision. Wider scope, like that would probably be the better decision. So I'll give you that for sure, Doug. All right. So wide receiver, just to close this out in the mid-range, Ben, and the low tier. I think Juwan Jennings and Khalil Shakir are both perfectly fine. If Romeo Doubs plays this week, I like him. Maybe some Tez Johnson. What about Jalen Naylor, though? Would you consider it just because the matchup is good and he's 3,500?
Probably not, unless we get truly no injury news and you're starved for value. There's always a case to be made, but he's also extremely likely to just regret. Like, I know there was difference because Burden came back, but Zacchaeus to me is a good illustration of this. He had a good week, and then I think he had one catch on Sunday. And I kind of feel like that's more in line for what we see with Naylor.
Exactly. And yes, dude, by the way, I agree with you there. I just think 35. I may have some double stacks with McCarthy and like Naylor and Jefferson or Jefferson and Addison because it's cheap. I actually don't think that's the craziest move now that I think about it. I don't love McCarthy as a young quarterback right now, but looking at some of the price points on these guys, McCarthy's 5,200, Addison's 55, Naylor's 35. Jefferson's expensive, but it's still not the worst spot in the world, just knowing that the Minnesota Vikings are still 3-point favorites in the game. And it has a 48.5, some spots 49-point total. So a 3-point favorite and a 49-point total is actually not that bad.
I don't get the spread on the game, to be honest. So
I think a lot of it is just this Minnesota defense against Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me what would the spread be, I would have said like 6.5.
Oh, you think the Vikings?
I don't think the Bears are good
favorites?
At all. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so yeah. I'm not okay. I don't see it that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I was floored that Minnesota beat Detroit on the road, and then Detroit responded how I knew they would. We were both all over Detroit on Sunday. Destroyed Washington. Minnesota lost. They lost to Baltimore. Like,
the
Bears are playing outrageous games against just Muppet teams at home. I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding, but I'm going to be on Minnesota, and that could be a blind spot for me.
I'll probably be on the other side.
Yeah, I can't believe the.
Well, no. I'm sorry. I won't be on the other side. I won't take 3 points. But if this were, well, you're saying you thought it was 6 and it should be 6. If this were 6.5, I would definitely take Chicago, but not at 3. No, not at 3. At 3, I'll take Minnesota based on the defense alone.
I've just been doing this, and it's not the end all be all, but the Bears are 6-3, and all their losses are quality. The Lions, the Vikings, the Ravens. Their wins: the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Commanders, the Saints, the Bengals, and the Giants, both in miraculous fashion. Like,
almost all of their wins are like last minute wins, last second wins, right? Aren't they?
I mean, they have 2 1-point wins, Raiders and Commanders, 25-24. And then the last
Raiders was on the final play of the game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait a second. Washington was on the final play of the game.
Yeah, and then the last 2 weeks were 2 of the most biggest miracles I've ever seen.
Yep. Cincy game was in the final minute. Yeah, you're right. Did that Giants game come down to the wire? I can't remember on Sunday.
The Giants game? Yeah, the Giants were up like 10 points with like a couple of minutes left, and then somehow Dart got hurt. Russell Wilson did nothing, and then Caleb scrambled for like 30 yards.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I think the Bears are far and away the worst team in the North. And that's not even a knock. The North is really good. I just don't see it.
That's fair. But I think I will consider stacking some of that Minnesota spot in some 2-mans. I just think their defense is terrible. The Bears. Any other wide receivers we haven't touched on yet? I think we got to most of them. But I did want your thoughts quickly on Emeka Egbuka. That's the last guy I want to know where you're at on.
Yeah, I mean Buffalo, I'm not super sold, and I'm like I said, I kind of root for Tampa, and I really do like him. I still don't think that it's a guarantee that he should be in like I know he's flat 7 now, but I think that price is going to continue. He was almost creeping into 8, and now it's starting to regress. I'm a little more sour on him than most.
I can't say he's one of my favorites on a week where you just have a laundry list of great options there.
Casualty of the slate.
Tight end position, Trey McBride, 6,300. I meant to look this up, right? I meant to look up how many touchdown receptions Trey McBride has in the few games he started with Jacoby Brissett compared to all of the games he started with Kyler Murray. He has 5 touchdowns, Ben. 5 touchdowns in the last 4 games, all of which Jacoby Brissett was the starter. I'm pretty sure he had like 3 touchdowns, including the one this year, all the way through week 5, including all of last season. So like what? Set 22 games or something like that? 3 total not including that recovered fumble in the end zone. And now he's got 5 over his last 4 games with Jacoby Brissett starting.
He was being, again, I was sweating out Arizona stacks. He was being peppered with targets in the red zone last week. It was ridiculous. They were going to him seemingly every play, as they should. And the guy is just, Bowers is Bowers, but he's right there for best tight end in the league. I don't even think it's up for debate.
Would you pay the price for him this week, knowing that we've got some elite tight wide receivers and running backs?
Yeah, I think so, because again, it is all a product of the same slate, and most people are going to allocate money elsewhere in terms of luxury spends. So you can do that. I will say this, and I did this a lot last week. If I pay for him, there's a very high chance that I have another tight end in those lineups, because you need the salary relief of tight end, I think, regardless of what you do this week. And I'm not going to forego that even with McBride.
I agree. And I had a lot of 2 tight end lineups last week as well. A lot. And there were some good tight ends last week. A lot of them. Kittle had another great game. Big targets. Scored.
Juwan Johnson again.
Juwan Johnson, yeah. Otten had a monster target, like a monster amount of targets.
Schultz.
Who?
Schultz for your Davis Mills stack, yeah.
Yeah, man. Schultz and Nico with Mills was a killer 2-man stack. There's one guy we do want to talk about, though, and most people are not going to like this. What about Kyle Pitts? You have Drake London going up against a good – J.C. Horn's a very good corner. Olave got the best of him last week, but I also don't want to ignore the fact that J.C. Horn got pushed and kind of fell on that big 60-yard reception by Olave. Olave is very good, no doubt. Well, so is J.C. Horn. Now, maybe that makes no difference. And Michael Penix is just like, look, Drake London is my guy. I do not care. That's really all that matters. But Pitts at 4K flat against Carolina is actually very enticing to me in this spot.
Yeah, listen, no problem. Obviously, they use him in a lot of different ways. Talented guy. And if you don't, so the thing that's interesting about Pitts, Drake London and Bijan are going to be factors into this slate. And it doesn't mean it's a 1-to-1, but if Pitts has a huge game, it does narrow those margins on 2 very important pieces. So you're doing a lot there if you could get to him. And he obviously does anything. I don't have a lot of other stuff. You got the Ravens guys again that are in these, Andrews at 35. I'm fine with that. Musgrave at 37. I think people will look to him, even though he was underwhelming last night.
What about Dawson Knox? I assume Kincaid's out. These hammies are multi-week injuries.
Yeah. The problem is there's another guy.
Jackson Hawes.
Like, he scored again, I think. Yeah, he scored on his one target.
For like, what, 26 yards or something?
It's stupid.
I think I'd rather... Sorry, go ahead.
God. No. I would say Hawkinson to roll into McCarthy stacks. And I do think you can do that, but Hawkinson has been terrible.
It's been awful, man. It's been really bad. I would say McBride and Kittle. You agree Kittle's still viable, right? Like, especially if Pearsall's not back. Okay. I do like the 4K range. I'll go back to the well with Cade Otton. Cade Otton gets a lot of volume on this team when you're missing a lot of your playmakers, and Chris Godwin's doubtful again. I'd go to him. I'll take some shots on Kyle Pitts, and I think even Dalton Schultz at 3,900 is okay, but I don't love him this week. I do not think they're going to need to throw nearly as much. I mean, Davis Mills threw 45 times last week. I don't anticipate that being the case against Tennessee as a 7.5-point road favorite.
Yeah, I agree. And it's true. You know, Cincinnati does give up a lot to the tight ends.
But they have 3 tight ends.
They have 3 of them, though.
Pittsburgh, I'm referring to.
Yeah. Washington is a real factor. Like, and obviously Jonnu and obviously Freiermuth. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough.
I'd take some shots on Knox, but I don't love it. Okay, I'll give you my 3. McBride, I'll give you 4 because I don't have a lot. McBride, Kittle, Otton, and Pitts.
Bride, Kittle, Otton, and Pitts. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna throw Mark Andrews into the ring just because I don't think he should be 3,500. I don't have much else for you though, to be honest. I don't know who the hell Jacksonville would even use that tight end at this point.
No, me neither. And I don't know if Hunter Long is even going to be back. I mean, it really doesn't.
No, that's what I mean. If he doesn't play, who is their tight end?
For Jacksonville?
Yeah, do they even I don't know the answer to this.
Well, I don't think. Hold on 1 second.
Not that I'm going to play whoever this is, but
right, because Strange is on the IR. What was? Yeah. He will have. Okay, so he might actually. Brenton Strange just might be back.
Okay, well, that would make this irrelevant. But if both of them,
Johnny Mund?
Yeah,
Johnny Mund. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
That team's a disaster, though, dude. Like,
yes,
they're a disaster. Brian Thomas, even if he does play, I don't really want to go there.
No, I will give shout out to Parker Washington. He was great in that game.
Grab too in the end zone.
He just seemed like a really good player.
You could also see Trevor Lawrence. Like, you could see Trevor Lawrence targeting him more even before Brian Thomas got hurt.
Yep.
Now they do have Jacoby now.
Yes.
Ben, give me one defense under 3K. This week's a little bit more difficult. One defense under 3K that you think we can get to this week. I might go Titans at 2,300.
That's a good one. There's going to be a lot. These are a lot of good options here.
You think?
I think so. You could definitely go to Titans. You could go to, I don't care what anyone says. Cleveland's defense is good enough. They should never be 2,400.
Those are the only 2 that I have on the list. Cleveland.
Oh, the Chargers to me against Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's also very true.
Jacksonville does too many stupid things.
They're a mess.
The Mega Mind Genius one is the Rams.
Yeah?
Yeah.
29?
I want to be clear. I don't particularly like that, but I don't think anyone's going to do that. And the Rams defense is really good. Really, really, really good.
They're super sound. They have a good run D. They have a great pass rush. Yeah, they've got it all going for them. I think the chalky defense, not that it matters. Houston, even though they're on the road, Houston against Tennessee, that could be a bloodbath, man.
Yeah, I'd say the most chalky defense will probably be Atlanta.
All right. That'll do it. But before we go, this is a rapid fire top 3 bets for week 11. Could be sides, could be whatever you want, but it's Tuesday, which means we're looking early And in all likelihood, there are not props unless you're talking for Thursday. And since we're trying to add a little additional shelf life here, we're going with some sides for week 11. Let us know down below if you're watching this one live who you have for this week. I've got 3. Ben has 3. Let's see what we can make happen, Ben. You go first. Number 1 bet early in the week for week 11. I think once again, this is becoming a tougher league to bet on sides than it was earlier in the year. I think the lines are getting sharper. I think we're starting to see a lot bigger spreads in a lot of these games, given how many really terrible teams there are in this league right now. But at the same time, we got to find something, and you're up first.
Yeah, and it's both directions, because NFL, true to form, the Dolphins are terrible and they just slaughtered the Bills. It happens and it's inexplicable. I had mentioned this a little when we were talking about DFS. I am unsure how good the Bears are. I'm going to get it started with a big-time North matchup because the Bears are winning games. Credit to them. Now, they're beating up on absolutely dumpster fire opponents, and there's nothing wrong with this, but it's also true. The Bears are getting extremely lucky. They're taking advantage of crazy situations, whether it's Cincinnati, the Giants last week, 1-point win over the Raiders, 1-point win over Washington. Now they got to hit the road against Minnesota, who coming off a loss, yes, and McCarthy, I don't think has been great, but they've been playing elite teams. They played Baltimore. They played the Lions in Detroit, and they handled them. I think that Minnesota at flat 3, and it's early, so if you want to take the risk and wait, it looks like there's a slight chance it goes to 2.5. I'm all over Minnesota in this game.
I am too. I know it sounded like I wasn't earlier in the show. All I'm saying is because of JJ McCarthy, I didn't see the line moving as much as you thought it may. At 3 at home, coming off a bad loss with that Minnesota defense and with the Chicago Bears kind of hanging on by a thread in so many of these games and winning them late, I like Minnesota a lot as well. This is another spot that I will happily get to. I'm 100% with you. I've got another one for you, Ben.
Okay.
Now, there are some actual really fun games on this slate. I think there's a lot of difficult games on this slate as well. But I am going to go with the Washington Commanders plus 2.5 on the road. They're coming off 2 brutal losses, embarrassing losses. Miami is coming off essentially their Super Bowl at this point. If there was ever a game that's set up perfectly for the team that everyone thinks has zero chance of competing, it is the Washington Commanders. And if you want to talk about a line that suggests this as much as anything, the Miami Dolphins just smoked this Buffalo Bills team, a divisional opponent, a Super Bowl contender by all standards coming into the season. They just went into Atlanta 3 weeks ago and destroyed them. Yet they are still only laying 2.5 points. The only thing I may do is wait to see if this possibly moves to 3. You're seeing that minus 115 on the 2.5, and then grab the Washington Commanders there. I'm still not a believer in the Miami Dolphins. I think they have a little bit more life than they did a handful of weeks ago when it seemed like they were completely done and everyone had hung it up. But this line jumps off the page at me. This specifically because it is such a short line, such a short spread, after Miami come out of that big win. Typically, when you see these type of games, a team coming off a big win that didn't have any business winning, double-digit dog, or what was it, like 9.5-point dog, and another team coming off another brutal loss, they tend to converge, and the Washington Commanders, I think, have a good shot of keeping this game close, and it'll surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, these teams are both disasters. I'm very down on Washington, but it couldn't be further down on Miami. I think one of the things that happens, and I'm guilty of this just as much as most, we just talked about weird data points. Like Miami's the same team they were 2 weeks ago before they beat the Bills, in my opinion. Nothing's changed. But I think the sentiment and the line in some ways is affected by that. And I'm not sure it should be, to be honest. Like, I don't think Miami's turned a corner or found anything. I think they just won a game. Just like these teams all beat each other in the NFL, barring the extreme outliers. I get it. Washington is it's just been a weird situation. They're beat up, but they do have some stability. And I honestly didn't think, if you would have told me, I'm just true full disclosure, what would that line have been? I would have said pick 'em, honestly. Like I thought it would just be a straight toss up. So you are getting a couple points, and that does surprise me.
Who do you got next?
I will say this. I considered trying to make the case for the Titans, but
I did too.
I don't know if I can make the case though.
I would be able to make the case if Houston's defense wasn't so good.
They're just, this is a bad spot for Houston in a lot of ways, but it just might not matter because of the talent discrepancy. I'm going to go to the Bills. Similar to Detroit last week. It was worse for the Bills, and I think the Bills are worse, but Detroit lost the game they shouldn't have. They went on the road and they just destroyed Washington, and they looked like their old selves. Obviously, the Bills were terrible. Josh Allen was fumbling all over the place. Sleepy game in Miami. They were not ready to play. And if you want to give them an excuse optic-wise, they just beat Kansas City. Huge emotional win. Now you got to play dumpster fire Miami on the road. You're not paying attention, and you get caught.
And by the way, that's what I think could happen with Miami this week against Washington, coming off against a huge emotional win.
There is something to that. And there's something the other direction too. The Bills are not going to get caught looking anywhere besides looking directly at Tampa. They have no room for error now because the Jets play the Patriots and they're 12-point favorites. They have to hold this game at home. I think Tampa's a really good team, but all of Tampa's weapons are not coming back apparently. And now Tampa has to hit the road after playing a really difficult game last week against the Patriots. I just worry that Tampa simply isn't good enough to beat the Bills. You're getting it inside a touchdown. I think the Bills will look like the Bills. I will lay the points.
I like that. We're on the same page so far. Here's another one I mentioned in the DFS portion of this show. I kind of like the Panthers. I'm sorry, the Falcons this week.
I was going to say, I do not like the
I feel like the Panthers are fraudulent, man. You know, they're winning these type of games. You beat, so when you take a look at this Carolina Panthers team, a lot of times throughout the season, a team can have the type of win that puts them on the map but shouldn't, right? You see what I'm saying? They can have the type of win or maybe a couple wins that puts them on the map but shouldn't. Like the Green Bay game, right? Or that Atlanta game where they beat them 30-0. You know, and then they beat Dallas and they beat the Jets. But that was a 13-6 game, man, against the New York Jets, against the terrible Jets offense. The Green Bay Packers offense looks broken right now. They just lost 17-7 to the New Orleans Saints with Tyler Shuck at quarterback. I still think this is a pretty bad football team. I do not have a ton of faith in their offense. And if you force Bryce Young to make the plays, you're going to have a tough time doing that unless you're facing an offense that struggles to move the football. I know Atlanta got blanked against them earlier this year. I think Atlanta knows that they got blanked against them earlier this year and embarrassed. To me, when I look at the weapons, while I'm not a huge Michael Penix Jr. guy, I still think the offensive firepower is so much better in Atlanta. And I think they are far more capable of moving the football. And you know what? Believe it or not, I still think this Atlanta defense at home is better than the Carolina Panthers. I'll call the Panthers out on some of these wins and some of these losses as well. I mean, they got absolutely destroyed by Buffalo 40-9. I think this is a good bounce back spot for the Falcons. The only thing I don't like about the Falcons, and you can speak to this if you want, they are coming back from that Berlin, Germany game. And typically teams coming back from overseas games don't perform as well, but I still kind of like them here just because I do not like the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a difficult evaluation with the Falcons because it's not a talent thing. It's just an execution thing. It's hard to quantify. They're just a very erratic team. It definitely helps, in my opinion, that they got smoked by Carolina in a game that they had no business getting crushed in, because now you got the optics. You're back at home against that same team. And, you know, the Falcons quietly, maybe it's not so quiet in your mind. I'm like, okay, they're having a fine season. No, they're not. They are absolutely not having a fine season. They're 3-6.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. You lose the Panthers here, you can cross off the season. So Bryce Young has not been good. The weapons are there. And obviously the Cousins, it wasn't an experiment, but there was just a mess in the middle of that season. I think the Falcons will be good, but I don't trust them at all. You don't need to trust them to bet them, but both those teams are very hard to trust.
They are. This is more just one of these spots where I think they bounce back. Now, What do you think? One more game from each of us. You got Kansas City Broncos. You got Philly and Detroit, Cleveland, Baltimore. Some other good spots in this week.
Oh, there's some elite. I mean, to me, I'm going to give you a lean in the best game. It's not my favorite bet. And again, I'll quickly say, you guys know this, but if you're watching and you don't know, all these bets will be on tails. They will be free. You can go and tail them at any time. You'll get notifications when the bets drop. And it's not just from us. Thousands of people every single day are here. They're dropping bets. They go right into the feed. Come and check it out. If you haven't downloaded this app, you are just simply missing out. A free app. Go to the App Store. You find the tail, download it, and you're in business and start tailing bets. I'm going to give you a lean, though. And yeah, you got a lot of bets already posted.
I don't. No, but I will have, because I'm doing my video right after this.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have a lot of bets posted for week 11 today, and I know people don't love tying up their capital. If you can bet games early in the week, I would highly recommend doing it. So That's why I try and drop bets early. Just download the app, follow Ben, follow me, follow everyone else we've got. Use the leaderboards and tail us, man. It's awesome. Yep. Anyway, who do you got?
I'm gonna go to the Rams. Tough game.
Okay.
I will fully admit it's a tough game. Seattle's has been fantastic, but I still believe ultimately most of what we saw from Seattle in recent weeks is a product of them being good and their opponents being absolute dumpster fires rather than them being great. Again, they crushed Washington and they crushed the Cardinals. I don't really think that's indicative of much. And
you're getting them inside a field goal too.
Yeah. Inside a field goal, the Rams have been unbelievable. The Rams are really close. And a lot of teams could say this, but the Rams are probably the closest team in the league to being undefeated. Like
that Eagles game, yeah. The Colts game too, right?
And they lost to the Niners, I believe.
In overtime.
Yeah. It's been right there. Stafford has been best quarterback in the league right now. He's been uncharted territory good.
Yep.
Like 20 touchdowns to no picks over the last 4, I believe, or 5 or whatever.
He has like the third shortest MVP odds now.
They're rolling. The defense is great. 2 great teams. Tough game. But I honestly think that the Rams are playing the best football maybe in the league right now.
I don't disagree. And by the way, my fault. Now that they beat the Colts, but that was the game they probably should have lost.
Yes.
Because the Adonai Mitchell fumble at the goal line and then the Jonathan Taylor, Adonai Mitchell hold on the would-be touchdown. But yes, I agree. You ready for my last one? I'll go to a marquee game with you.
Go. Are you going to go to the Birds?
I'm going to go to the Chiefs.
I almost, full disclosure, I almost said the Chiefs too.
So hear me out. And I'm pretty sure we probably have the same logic on this. Number one, Andy Reid and the Chiefs are coming off of a bye. I know this is in Denver, but they're coming off of a bye. My guess is their offensive line, actually, with the additional time, is now healthier, right? Like Josh Simmons is back. Trey Smith is back. They've got these guys back. They were missing both of them for a long time. That can't be overstated. You have Rashee Rice. You have Travis Kelce, who's playing better. Sure, the run game isn't very good, but you likely have no Cortland Sutton. You have Xavier Worthy. Here's the other thing. And I was a big Bo Nix guy coming into his rookie season. That offense is just not good right now. That offense is just not good right now. And J.K. Dobbins might not play. The Chiefs went into the bye week, Ben, right? The Chiefs go into the bye week off of a tough loss, game of the week, 4:00 window against the Buffalo Bills. And it felt like the Bills were in control of that game the entire time. So now you got them coming out of a bye, coming off of a tough loss in a marquee matchup against the Denver offense that really hasn't played well, and a Denver defense that is likely down, I believe the reigning defensive player of the year. I just think this sets up as a spot where the Broncos, I don't want to say they get exposed, but this is a divisional matchup, right? And the Chiefs got off to a very slow start. The Broncos are 8-2. The Chiefs are 5-4. This game goes a very, very long way and potentially deciding the divisional standings at the end of the season. So I know it's 3.5. Sure, you'd like 3. I do like the Chiefs in this spot.
Yeah, I get it. Listen, Denver, a lot of the things that I said about the Bears even could be applicable to Denver. They have won some miraculous games, and Bo Nix has you and me had talked about Bo Nix a lot over the years or year or so. And I always told you, I was always confused because when he was in college at Auburn, he was bad. And he became pretty good. And then he went to Oregon and he was good. And then he got to the NFL and he was bad. It was really weird. And now he's starting to show some of the plays. There's a play last week where he just threw it. That was what he used to do. He would just launch them into nonsensical areas. And they don't have the luxury of being able to do that in these type of games. And you mentioned, I would say Surtain's not going to play. Tough spot. Denver needs to play better if they're going to win the game. That much is certain.
On offense specifically.
Yes. Their offense is not playing at a level where you can beat good teams.
Anything else? Any other spots before we get out of here for the morning?
No, there could be some teasers. Maybe. Baltimore teased down.
But some teasing. Oh, God, I mean, if you've teased games recently and you included Detroit 2 weeks ago, or you included, even if you teased the Bills last week, to me, the teaser spot, all right, let's make a teaser right now. And we each have to add them and then we'll agree on the third one. We'll make a 3-team teaser. How about that?
Go ahead.
Packers for me.
Yeah, that's Packers is the, I'll tell you this. You know who's not going in my teaser is the Texans.
No, I will not. I agree with you. That game feels uncomfortable. I've gotten the Titans wrong all season long anyway. By the way, I got the Houston cover on that final that pick 6 last week, which was nice, but give me the Packers because I don't think Jackson Dart plays here. I'd be surprised if Jackson Dart plays.
I'll take the Ravens.
Okay.
You'll get it done. Inside, you get it at 2.5.
Also a game that they need to win, right? In the sense of, divisional battle. Man, the Patriots are 11.5.
Jets.
What'd you say?
The Jets at 17.5, and that is not the worst thing I've ever heard. But
I don't want to tease an 11.5 to a 17.5 though.
I understand that.
Like, I'd rather just bet the Jets at 11.5, I think, because if they can't cover 11.5, I'm not certain they can cover 30.5.
Yeah. They could get tactical nuked. There's just not that many options, honestly.
By the way, I kind of like the Raiders outside of a field goal at plus 3.5.
Yeah. You can tease them up to 9.5.
Yeah. I'd want it. Well, if you just did a 3-team 7-point teaser, you could get them north of 10. You could get the Packers to just win, right? You get them to 0.5 point. And then you'd have, what would you have the Ravens at? 1.5?
Yeah, 1.5. You could definitely do that.
That's not terrible.
No. The thing with teasers is just make sure you really, really, really understand what book you're placing them on, because some of these standard teaser prices are unbeatable.
Yep. Another thing you can actually do is I was making custom teasers where I'd do I would go in and I would do it manually, like on Bet365, and I would get better odds on better actual numbers than I would on other books. Like I managed to bring one inside of 3 and make it like a 7.5 point on just one of the legs where I kept the others at 7. The other books are just with the standard 7, we're still worse odds. So yeah, there's a way to actually do that and get them all under key numbers with better odds than other books if you know where to look.
Yeah, you just need to, sometimes betting the team's money line parlay is actually grades out better and you're getting more points.
Yep.
So
anyway, appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking by me. And Ben, nice job during the technical difficulties. I'm going to go try and fix some things here.
Fix some stuff.
Everything was running so smoothly until it wasn't. Anyway, have a great rest of the day. We'll see you back here. We'll see you over there on Tails. Of course, you can download the app with the link in the description. if you haven't done so yet. Or you can go to tails.bet, whichever floats your boat. Follow Ben at JazzRazBets, me at Laffy on Twitter, and we will see you back here for the next one. Bye-bye.